Hey guys, you're welcome to this video content. If you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop any video. So in this video, I want to talk about entry confirmation. Now, if you've not watched my previous video where I explained about POI, please go back to that previous videos so that you can get what I mean. Okay guys, and also if there are some things I use here and you don't really understand, I have explained some of them in my previous video. For instance, range structure, internal structure, they are part of structure, they are part of market structure. So you can check my previous video and watch about market structure. You can watch about POI, liquidity, inducement, and every other things. I have dropped them on this my channel. So here I'm going to be talking about your entry confirmation. Now this entry confirmation, it is not something you can see anywhere. You can't just see it anywhere. This is something I personally sat down on my chart and then I noticed the reaction of the market. Okay, I noticed the reaction of the market. This particular entry confirmation that I am about to teach you, I discovered it in my chart intimacy. And my chart intimacy is where I spend more time with charts. So I discovered this myself. So you can't just see it everywhere in the market. And often I have actually seen it work over and over again. Okay, I have seen it work over and over again. So I'm going to be giving an explanation on this. Now we have what we call the time frame alignment entry confirmation, and then we have the structure formation entry confirmation. I am just going to explain structure formation. And in this structure formation, we also have different ways markets actually react. We have different ways. You can't just see the market reacting in just one way. So I have discovered about 4 of them. So I'm going to be explaining just one here. Guys. Others are actually in my course. So I'm going to be explaining one of it here so that you can actually use it for yourself and to your own advantage. If this is the only thing you're actually using, trust me, if you're patient enough and then you want to stay long in the market, definitely you will be patient. So if you're patient enough and then you watch your setup play out, then you're good to go. You're really good to go. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to be talking about entry confirmation. So we already spoke about POI, we already discussed about that. So let's see what you are looking out for when you get to your market POI. So I'm going to be using a downtrend. I love using an uptrend for illustration, but right now let's just use a downtrend. So let's take, for instance, we have this area marked out as our POI. You're looking forward for the market to come to this area and to this area of your POI. Now there's something I am always saying. A POI is just a reaction zone until market gives you a confirmation. So you know how essential this particular video is. Yeah, a POI is just a reaction zone, and that is why you see that a lot of your POI get blown out. It is just a reaction zone. Markets can just get there, react, and then you are feeling the market is about to turn. No. Now, a POI is just a reaction zone until you have a proper confirmation that this particular market wants to move, or this particular market wants to use this POI. Now, the market seeks to take away your stop losses. Now, market knows the mind of traders. Market knows the mind of every traders. and they know where you place your stop losses. They know where you are expecting the market to use as PO high, even as an SMC trader, not just retail trader alone. As an SMC trader, market already knows your mind. They know where you are putting your PO high. They know where you are expecting your PO high, and they take you out first before they move in your direction. Okay, so let's assume you pick out this PO high. You pick out this PO high. The market is going to get there, just like our primary PO high that we explained in the previous video. So you pick out this primary PO high, we mark it out, and then you're expecting the market to get here. Now, you work based on reaction of the market. Don't just predict the market. Work based on reaction. So you're expecting the market to get to that PO high. Now, the first thing you need to recognize when you are waiting for market to get into PO high is that market will not move into PO high impulsively. If it moves to your PO high impulsively, just take out that PO high. It's not going to hold. Market will only react to that PO high. It will not hold. Yes, it will not hold. If you are seeing strong candles, if you are seeing strong bull candles getting into this PO high, it will not hold. Market might just react a little bit and then it will take you out. So if you see market moving impulsively, you are seeing 4 big candles in retracement, just take out that POI. Take out that POI. Don't take that trade. Don't take that trade. Now, the first thing you want to see when the market is moving into your PO high is that you want to see it move sluggishly into your PO high. That's the first thing you need to recognize. You want to see it work sluggishly into your PO high. It's just like your car. Okay, your car will not just stop once. Once you are getting to your destination, your car will not just stop. No, you are going to reduce the speed. Okay, you will reduce the speed, and then when you get to where you are going to, you stop. So that is the same way the chart works. It is going to reduce the speed, and then when it gets to where it is going, it stops, and then it gives different reaction when it gets to where it is going. So you don't want to see your market move impulsively this way. You don't want to see it move this way. You don't want to see it move like this. You don't want to see it move like that. No. You want to see it giving a reaction. You want to see it giving a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What we call our minor structure. If you've watched the market structure video, okay, that is what we call our minor structure. You want to see it give your minor structure at retracement. When it is going to your PO high, you want to see it give your minor structure. We might not have a lot of minor structure, but you want to see it give minor structures. Okay, and another thing, when you are expecting the market to get into your PO high, you don't want to see something like this impulsive move first, and then you start seeing something like this. You don't want to see something like this, guys. If you see something like this, the market will only use this place as a reaction zone. Okay, you don't want to see something like this. If it comes back here, it will come back up. You can see the first one we had impulsive move here, and then we had range structure. This is range structure, which is just our liquidity. Now, a lot of people will say, since it has gotten to my PO high, breaking this particular low is a BMS. No, it's not a BMS. The market will trick you out. The market will trick you into the market and trick you out. So you don't want to call this your minor break of structure. Now we have this place left untested. The market will come back, use all this area as range structure. It will come back into this area, into a particular place where we left untested, and it will start going to the upside. To start going to the upside. So you don't want to call this a minor BMS. You don't want to call this a minor BMS when we have an untested zone here. You don't want to call it a minor BMS. Now, what do you expect the market to do when we get or when we are about to have a retracement back into our PO high. Now you want to see market move this way, balancing itself. In a retracement, if a PO high we hold, you want to see market balancing itself. If it doesn't balance itself, then you shouldn't really enter the market. You shouldn't enter the market. So you want to see it balance itself. You cannot you might not see it balanced this way. Let me put it that way. You might not see it balanced this way. There are sometimes you will see it this way. Like I said, we have different ways the markets enter into the market. You can see it balanced this way. Then you will have something like this. You can see it's balanced this way, okay? While this place is left untested, you can see it's balanced this way. This is actually balanced because it used a secondary PO high here. It did not come back to primary PO high. Now, being balanced doesn't mean it has to enter into primary PO high. No. Being balanced means it is using the appropriate PO high for a movement. Okay? It is using the appropriate PO high for a movement. Now, when you get to your PO high, now what do you expect when you get to this PO high? The first thing you want to expect is this. Okay? Let me give a proper explanation about that. The first thing you want to expect when you are approaching your PO high is market giving you this, coming back, giving you this first BMS. You want market to give you this first BMS. You want market to give you that particular first BMS and come back to take this high. Now, the reason you are expecting this first BMS is because a lot of people that marked out this PO high like you, immediately they see this BMS, they already assume this is a break of structure to the downside. This is a BMS to the downside. So they will look for RTO, something like this, and they will just enter the market blindly for market to continue to the downside. Unfortunately, markets won't do that. Markets will come back to break this high. Markets will come back to break this particular high. This high. Markets will come back to break this particular high before moving to the downside. Now, this is what we call your BMS at PO high. Then you enter at entry. You enter at RTO for market to continue to the downside. You wait for market to give you your first BMS, then give you another high. Give you another high. After giving you that high, it will break this particular high, break structure to the downside. This is what you can call your BMS at POI. This is now your entry confirmation. You wait for the market to come back to RTO, then you continue to the downside. You use range continuation to continue until we break this low. Sorry guys. Until we break this particular low. You wait for market to continue using range structure until we break this low. After breaking this low, then you can expect the market at your primary PO high again to continue to the downside. Let me explain that again. When you are approaching your PO high, you want to see something like this, a break of this low, guys, a break of this first low. After breaking this low, after it breaks this particular low, it will come back. Now, it has tricked a lot of people into the market because a lot of people marked this PO high like you. A lot of people marked this PO high like you, and then they are waiting for a particular low to be broken. After the low is broken, they just enter the market blindly. Okay? Now, markets will do something very trickish. The market will break that low, then we come back and break that high before breaking this low. After breaking this low, then you wait for your RTO to continue to the downside, and that is how you wait for your entry confirmation, guys. This is your entry confirmation. This, let me mark it out. Let me mark that out here. This is how you want to see your entry confirmation. You want to see the first low broken when you are approaching your PO high. Then you want to see that high broken again. Then we have a BMS to the downside, and then you wait for RTO to continue to the downside. I saw something like this on Volatility 25, and I think I need to show you guys so you can understand what I mean. So let's go to chart. Okay. Volatility 25. Volatility 25. Now you can't have entry confirmation, guys. You can't have entry confirmation without knowing your structure and without knowing your PO high. If you are just waiting for that at every supply candle, every demand candle, it will not work. In fact, markets might use that to trick you into the market. It might not work. So just know your PO high and know your areas of structure. Know your market structure. Know the higher highs. Know the market. Know the structure range. Know the range structure. Know the internal structure. Know all of this, and wait for the market to. Okay. So like I said, I saw something that beautiful and very clean on Volatility 25. So we have a BMS to the downside. Yeah, we had the BMS to the downside. And this is an area that was left untested. Okay, because we had fair valid gap. You can see this, guys. This is our fair valid gap. So we have our fair valid gap here. Which is left untested. Now when markets go to that particular fair valid gap, entering into our PO high, let's see what the 1 hour did. So let's check our 1 hour time frame. So here we go, guys. Your entry confirmation. You can see all of this. You can see all of this. We had a higher high, higher low, higher high. Then we came back to break this low. Now, a whole lot of people will actually enter this market. Why? Because we are already at the fair valued gap. You can see the fair valued gap we marked out, guys. Can you see the fair value gap we marked out? So we're already at the fair value gap. A lot of people, a lot of traders, we see that as a confirmation entry. Okay? Because they are not expecting market to violate that low. So see what the market did, guys. We had a BMS to the downside. The market came back. It couldn't break this high. Then it came back to break this low to give us a hunt of liquidity. So this becomes our strong low. This actually became the strong low. So markets went to the upside and got to a particular stage in the market. Let's see where the market reacted from. It actually reacted at that fair value gap. See, we are still inside our fair value gap. markets reacted at the fair value gap, it couldn't even get to our PO high. The PO high we marked out, the markets couldn't get there. It still used the fair value gap, of which sometimes market loves using fair value gap. So the market still used our fair value gap. Now immediately we had this BMS to the downside. This is our confirmation entry. This is our confirmation entry. You can see it has given all we actually wanted it to give. It has given everything. We had a high, a higher high, then we had this low. Take out this low. This low could not break this high. This particular high could not break this low. Oh my god, this particular high could not break this high. So sorry about that, guys. This high could not break this high. And you can see how the market tricked a lot of traders into this market. Guys, see, after we had this BMS to the downside, you know, a lot of people will actually enter this market here as their RTO, expecting market to continue selling hard. Now, after market broke this low, this is our aunt of liquidity. Markets came back and took out their stop losses, because this is where a lot of traders will place their stop loss. This is where a lot of them will place their stop loss. See, it came back as RTO, came back and broke just this low and used it as aunt of liquidity. The market continued to the upside just to give us that entry confirmation, just to give us this, guys. Okay, something like that happened on Volatility 75 one hairs or so. I think I saw it of recent. Okay, let me go to the 24 hours time frame and mark out the area I saw that market reacted to. Okay, so this being an uptrend, you know, we have a BMS to the upside. So let's mark out this area as our other block. So I think that was on the 1 hour time frame, and the market did something like this. Sometimes markets might not use that entry confirmation to enter inside the market. The markets might not use that same entry confirmation to enter into the market, but this has proven to work over and over again. In fact, if this is the only thing you want to be looking out for in the market, it's fine. I mean, it's totally fine. You know, you won't just enter the market blindly. See this, guys. Now, if you've watched my video, I spoke about secondary PO high. Okay, I spoke about secondary PO high also, and I spoke about primary PO high. Now, you know, people would actually enter into this market because we are at breaker block. So the market reacted at breaker block, and some people will call it resistance turned support. So you might actually enter at secondary PO high. Some secondary PO high actually works. So when markets got to that secondary PO high, see what the market did. It tricked a lot of people into the market. See, we had the BMS to the upside. This is actually because we had a low, BMS to the downside. This is 1 hour time frame. Remember, guys, this is not 5 minutes. So you are marking out your structures properly on the 1 hour time frame. So we had a BMS to the downside, a retest of it, then another BMS to the downside. Okay, we have another BMS to the downside. If you are seeing this on the 15 minutes time frame, it is very, very clear. So this is a BMS to the downside. Now what did the market do? People will actually count this as a BMS to the upside. A lot of people will see this as a BMS to the upside. Market took them out and used this primary PU high. Then this is where we know we had a break of structure to the upside. This is our entry confirmation. This is where we had our entry confirmation to the upside. All you just have to do is wait for the market to retest, and then you continue the market. You continue in that trend. You see, markets came back to use our fair value gap here. You can actually enter from this area, giving you our entry confirmation, and you are good to go. Now, if you check this entry confirmation on 5 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm not really going to go into that, guys. If you check this on 5 minutes and 15 minutes, you will see it happen over and over and over again. I'm just using this 1 hour time frame to show you guys some things. If you go to 5 minutes and you go to 15 minutes, about 45% of time, that is what market uses as a continuation to the upside or as entry confirmation. You can try it, you can check it on your chart, you can check your entry time frame. You can check your entry time frame, and then you are going to see what I am saying. Market uses this over and over again. I have tested it. I know what the market uses, and this time around, in fact, often I use it as my entry confirmation. That is what I patiently wait for as my entry confirmation, because I know the market uses it over and over again. If you stay patient and then you use this, trust me, you're going to see yourself flying really high. And for markets to actually use something for 45% of the time, it simply means a whole lot. Meaning 45% of the time you will be right. Meaning 45% of the time you will be right. And that is still a good thing. You know, having a 45% win rate, it's very, very mind-blowing. Yes, having a 45% win rate is really mind-blowing. If you have a 45% win rate, you will rarely blow your account. So you can test this, practice this over and over again, and then you're going to see how market works. All right, guys, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Keep living in the atmosphere of profits. Bye, guys.